Yeah, well, basically just say hi, and we got these two teams
Yep,
who just
indeed.
started up because they're setting up.
Yep, we are now streaming. It's working. Woohoo! I fixed it. Okay, so this is the Ignorant Fairies versus the I can't even remember what they're called now because I've just jumped in. The Scales of Beauty. Scales of Beauty. That's the one. And this game has actually already started. They're about half an hour in, I think, but we're going to start from the beginning because we're good little boys like that. With me is Aldar. I am about to spam out a link, but we'll get started as we should. So I've now hit play.
Yeah, same here. And hello, people.
So yeah, this was a game that was supposed to be starting in half an hour according to the calendar. So I've kind of had to.
My calendar said it should start a half an hour ago, so timing issue.
Yeah, some sort of weird timing issue on the calendar, I think, because it said UTC, 3 o'clock UTC, and that would make it 4 o'clock here. So yeah, it's only 3:30. So the winner of the toss would appear to have been the Lizards, Salarnis' team. I did have a quick look at the teams earlier. The Orcs look like they've taken a bit of a pasting in some respects, but they've got some very good players. They're just carrying a couple of injuries. The Lizards have that kind of dream Saurus thing of having most of them have, well, all of them having block and most of them having guard.
And the killer would break tackle, so...
Exactly. It's going to be a tough game for the Orcs because this is one of the few teams that can outstrength them. And
there we go.
Scales of Beauty, I think it is. Is that correct?
And we start off here with a quick snap for the Lizards, so they get to move a bit. Yeah, and well, for inducements, well, we got a Invisible Wizard and Slippery.
Nice. That's good. Let's copy that. Let's just copy. Oh, ow. Okay. Straight away, the troll gets stunned.
Straight away, troll snap into getting stunned. Mighty blow doing its thing. So. Ooh.
Alright, let's see if I can get ahead of this. Ooh, Double Skulls comes out. And and it's a KO on the reroll. This is some assault and battery by the Lizards here.
Yeah, I just had a pause, so I think we should be closer now, and we see another hit on the Black Orc on the Lion.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Oh. It's again, when you go back, it's often a bit problematic to get the right timers for things.
You got to like 3-2-1 it or something, and obviously we were in a bit of a rush.
Yeah, it was a bit rushed, but we're here, and we see Croxigor block. Nothing.
Pickup happens, it's all good.
All going nice and easy. Well, that wasn't a bad first turn for the Lizards.
It's a very good first turn for the Lizards. I think if the Lizards' aim here is to outmuscle the Orcs, then they've made a very good start of it. Does look like there may be a hit coming in on Nima Satar over on the right hand side here.
Oof, just a push. No reroll used because it's overtime format, even first half. But yeah, Blood's got Black Orc out with a KO from the start. That's a good, really good start.
Very, very good start. Oh, fails dodge.
Failed Bob's dodge. Yeah, you just eat that.
Of course, yeah, no point rerolling it. Troll will be back up next turn, that's something at least. Oh, and the Croxigor Boneheads. That's a fairly opportune time for that to happen. Here comes the big dark green scaly boy. And it looks like we are going to be hitting Senecorker, the unleveled Black Orc.
Yeah,
Block does its work.
Block's a good skill.
Block's a very good skill.
And we're pushing up with some guard pieces, just, well, when in doubt, slot some guard in there.
Yep. I mean, the one thing that we're not expecting to see very much of is a great degree of dodging from from the black. Ooh, okay. I'm just taking a look at my stream now, and it's looking very jerky, I think. I'm not happy with Twitch at the moment. It's not being my friend. If anyone out there is watching, do confirm that it's not my computer playing up. It's looking a bit pant.
Yeah, it does look a bit janky.
It's weird. It says I've got 60 frames per second.
I just had a teleporting Saurus.
Yeah, fantastic.
Saw him start moving the first square, and then he ended up on the last one.
Fantabulous.
Ooh.
Okay.
Armor break on Slippy here.
Hopefully I saw a sound.
Oh.
Slippy is KO'd.
That's a big KO to go
That's a
back
huge
to.
KO. Star players, as always, proving they're overrated.
Really stupid on the troll. It's a bit rough.
Big guy on big guy non-action here.
And it goes down. Ooh, ooh, that might be a juicy, juicy foul, forested foul here.
Sure.
Ooh, and directly sent off. Ref having none of this game.
Orkzu is sent off. For
And that was a snake.
no real game. Yeah, that'll do it. They'll snake on the eye on the on the foul roll. Alright, so
But yeah, we see some, well, blocking back and forth, a few KOs, and nothing big in removals besides, well, as the KOs, they have a chance to get back, so no injuries or anything. Skink's going just straight up. Seems like Salarnis, he might want to go for the fairly quick score if he can.
yes.
Or just a good position.
Okay, yeah, these orcs are just not staying on their feet, are they? It's just not not happening.
Again, as orcs, he's coming in for a fight. You're saying, well, okay, let's hit something back and forth. And we got an armor break on this lizard here. And another KO.
Christ, it's just a KO city out there. Nima Satar is indeed KO'd and is out there.
And, well, Archimedes straight up banging in on that skink and just go straight. Wrestle is a kill skill.
Break them skinks, yeah. Just a stop though. And then a failed dodge. No one gets re-rolled. And it's another fail.
Yeah. And we see straight in hit on Archimedes. What? Tackle mighty blow. Nothing. No dice. Just stand still.
Yes.
Ooh, I just noticed. That's a plus strength skink. I love
It's a
it.
plus strength skink. It's one of those ones where you look at it and you go, do I take this? Do I take this? And then you do, and it's great.
Of course you do. The skink has still been the best piece I ever had back in the day. He was strength 4 blush.
Very nice. Okay.
Ooh, one dice reroll here. They are both going through the rerolls fairly quickly. We see hit on mutant the second. No dice.
No dice, indeed.
Again, we haven't even talked about this troll. Have you looked at this lovely, lovely piece of
It is
troll?
a beautiful troll. It really is a beautiful troll. I would think that the next thing that troll is going to get is probably going to be grab if nothing spicy comes out. But yeah, that's
Grab
the
or stand firm?
Already got stand firm.
Oh yeah. Well, grab, yeah.
Yeah.
Grab it is.
Ooh, are we going to see a piling on? We are going to see a piling on.
Yeah, and no dice on the piling on, just taking it nice and easy.
So I think this is an exercise in the orcs basically just trying to massacre as many lizards as they can, so that the lizards will score, give them the ball, and they can get some of those KOs back hopefully. And they still have a bench.
Yes.
Which includes a goblin, which you do love to see. And there is that move up thrower sitting on the side there as well.
The orcs, they have a good chance for the one turner. Ooh, and we see an armor break.
Yeah, I think it was slightly ahead of me again.
Oh well, we'll be catching up soon. Very soon.
Indeed, we will be. It'll be fine. Less breaky for the lizards here. Looks like we're going to see the fabled troll blitz on the Croxigor. Just a push though. Ooh. Orc comes back to threaten the ball. Dodges off, very nice. Fails the GFI because
fails GFI, rerolls. It's Orc GFI, you know how it is.
Yeah, you never GFI with Orcs, it just never works. I'm not sure how I feel about re-rolling that, but then I guess he wanted to dodge out there.
It's for pressure on the ball. If you force him to score this turn, which he basically needs to, unless he gets lucky armor breaks. Ooh, and we see a dub skull there.
I haven't seen the dub skull yet. Yeah, one dub skull. Instant reroll. Stand firm does its foul, wicked business of holding that black orc in place, and now that killer piece is being threatened. I wonder if we're going to see a strength up skink blitz there. No, we're not. The sensible blitz happens.
Yeah. Stays alive, but can't reach it now. But again, he's pressuring the ball. He can stall this, but if he keeps moving down with these pieces, he has to score next turn, and that gives the orc 2 turns to score.
Like 10 minutes after this finishes.
Yeah. And well, we just saw end of turn there, skull, and into a KO. So that's the third Saurus out.
That is another Saurus. Another donked Saurus, indeed.
And this can end up giving these lizards huge problems if the KO rolls are bad.
Yeah, I mean, given the inducements that they took, you know, they opted not to take the babes. So there's a. Here comes the blitz. Very nice. Blitz is round.
Ooh, he got
him. And that is a KO, and that means that you can step in on the ball.
Yeah, and still, this is another KO roll that he needs to, and even with 2 KOs, it's starting to get a bit dicey for him, and he's only got 1 bench.
Dodge fails.
And again, that's and that's against the stand firm guy. He doesn't have a reroll.
He doesn't. Yeah. So the wrestle here. Oh, steps back.
And decides to score.
Yeah, thinks better of it.
Yeah, that wasn't safe at all.
No, there was literally no way of making that ball safe there. He basically had to score because that Agia lineman was going to be smacking into that skink if he'd stayed another turn, because the guard stand firm piece sitting there wasn't anywhere he could put it to make it safe. Alright, knocked out. 2 remain knocked out. 2 Saurai. And the black orc remains knocked out as well. which means that the lizards are a little thin on the ground.
Exactly, and well, against orcs, it's two Sauri they're missing, and that's really problematic against orcs for them, because suddenly the orcs are, well, if they didn't miss the Black Orc, they were close to outflanking them.
Yeah, I mean, the only saving grace here really is that the orcs don't really have anything quick enough to score in 2 turns without...
They have a troll and a goblin.
Yeah, that's true. They do have a troll and a goblin, so they could, in fact, do the old trolley goblin fling play. Especially with this kind of setup from the lizards. You'd think that would be the option here. You just get the quick score, really. He's giving you a clear path through for that goblin.
But I do also understand Salarnis. He's setting this up a bit conservative. He's not respecting either the 2-turn or the 1-turn, but he is protecting his skinks.
Yes. Yeah, which he really needs to do, and hope that those KO rolls bring back Slibbly and the other Saurus. Alright, here goes the kick. Lovely kick for a kick-off return to do its magic.
Exactly, that's perfect. And there is a reroll for the lizards.
Naturally, the orc fails to catch it, because that's what orcs do.
And again, if you sideline cage, well, you can just dodge in with the skink, but that skink is just going to get surfed the turn after.
Yep. This is one of those ones where you if that goblin somehow gets pushed back, bouncy on the line.
I see him pushing up the Black Orc, and then he's doing a blitz on Macaul, the guard Sauri. Wouldn't pile on, because then I'll move him up so you have a tackle piece up there.
Yep, here it comes. Must have been listening to you. Just a push. But you can keep him locked onto the lineman and then run. It's not very much. Oh, fails the GFI. Because of course, orcs. Rerolls. Rerolls into a double GFI and gets away with it. Very brave.
But yeah.
Oh,
sure has failed.
Oh no. This is going to
These orcs are horrible at picking up the ball and doing GFIs.
Yeah, GFIs picking up the ball and catching it, apparently. They're even with Stunty, I think. But it looks like we're going tackle on the gobbo now.
Yeah, stand firm.
No, stand firm, of course, does its thing. I don't think we'll see GFIs to get the tackle on the gobbo there. Although, that sort of makes sense.
You're not bringing him down?
Yeah, he's taken a hit. And in fact, no, it won't even work, because you'd have to double select him somehow, which just doesn't happen. Block is a good skill, again. Okay, yeah. Gets a skink for his troubles, though.
You see, lovely little mighty blow, and easiest pile on of your life.
Yeah, pile on. Pile that baby on. And he's injured. It works. Oh, and he fails the pickup again.
This thrower needs to get fired.
There's an argument to be made that all throwers should be fired from many people who or coaches. Slibbly stays out. And the Black Orc comes back. That's big.
So unfortunately this was the point at which my recording kind of span away so much from the audio portion that I felt that I had to come back and re-record it. I did a bit of a hatchet job on the existing audio from the actual live broadcast, and I would like to thank Aldar for helping out. Unfortunately our banter shall be lost to the midst of time. It was pretty fun banter, especially towards the latter end of this coming half. That being said, The show must go on, so I am going to be re-recording a commentary. I will try and capture the spirit of the original, probably fail miserably, so do bear with me. This is my third attempt at this, because for some reason my audio stuff is just all over the place, and it's infuriating, but with any luck now, it has actually been dealt with. So, we will pick it up from the second half, and let's rock and roll. Alright, so Salarnis is down Slibbly and one of his skinks, which means that because he doesn't have a bench, and the orcs do, with the black orc coming back from the knockout, the orcs have a distinct advantage, despite being 1-0 down, that they will presumably hope to leverage. We had some speculation about whether the goblin would stay on. The goblin did not stay on. The goblin went straight off that pitch. And Docmarc sets up for quite a strong drive across the right hand here, as I seem to recall, with the troll out wide and a lurking killer player. Basically looking to punch as many lizards in the face as possible, as quickly as possible, and try and remove some of them. The kick is a recoverable one for the orcs. That's what not having a kick will get you. But perfect defence comes out to play, and we see the lizardmen restructure the defensive line. Initially it seems as though Salarnis is kind of focusing a little bit too much on shifting everything to his right, our left, as we're looking at the screen. And there's a couple of slightly iffy positions here that quickly get rectified, fortunately. This, for example, this skink here is in prime position to get punished, unfortunately, from a double GFI, so gets moved back. Getting skink heavy on this side, which is sensible, as the summer of getting through to that ball. This is a bad position as well. These skinks, these Saurus need to move up to cover, otherwise we'll basically put a Newton out to pasture, as he is likely to get troll ganked. So settles on a formation after a little while. The problems with perfect defence is it can sometimes make you kind of overthink things, and naturally the thrower fails to catch the ball, which is a bit of a theme, and the troll really stupids, which is also a bit of a theme. Trolloleo, Trolloleo, which is an amazing name. We take a block against the Saurus over here, which is better than one. And there was a bit of bouncy bouncy. So I think with the troll really stupid, Docmarc decides that he's just going to have to force his way through the middle, and takes a smacking killer, who is near. Set killer gets stunned. Yeah, of course you're going to palm stun. Does so, it's a stun into a stun. Picks the ball up successfully this time, and runs back towards his own touchline, which some might say is a bit risky, but given the lack of troll on the front line and the offensive push, the offensive punch that is missing as a result, kind of makes sense, especially when you've got a couple of players who can pull back to cover. And the skinks are somewhat out of position, threaten anything back here, plus this boy here has tackle. A couple of hits go in, pulls out a reroll. Both players very aggressive with the rerolls in this game. Coaches, rather, I suppose we would use. Aggressive with the rerolls in this game. We were quite surprised to see how quickly they had them left, in fact, in that first half. We'll see if that's a trend that continues into the second. Big hit there, there's a stun on the Black Orc that shifts the Crocs back across the front of the defensive line. And we now have Iguao 2 heading out to threaten the ball, or at least look like he's going to threaten the ball. Hit goes in on Casmus de Rotoir, and the skinks are starting to hit the sidelines, providing an assist here for the Black Orc, which unfortunately just results in a push. Quick down. Obviously it was slower when it was actually happening live. So the Stand Firm boys are keeping the front line stand firmly. We are going to run out to the right to avoid the Mighty Blowsaurus, who is looking like he is going to stick a fin on his head and pretend to be a shark, a ball shark, if you will. Ooh, ball shark, that sounds pretty nasty. So we're making a sort of loose cage here. Troll Blitz on the skink, which is brave. Just results in a dodge, though. A dodge pushback. But you are seeing that side cage starting to form as a result of the troll forcing his way inwards there. No attempt at taking a red die on the Crocs, which I think could have been a viable option there. Just a push on the Blodge Guard, Black Orcus Aurelius. These are great names for it. Now this I don't really like. I can see why he's done it, but I don't really like it. It makes him a prime target. Brings Igao 2 back into the Orc lines. Excuse me. Has to repeat on that. That is a pretty spicy injury to the Killer Blitzer. The Move Bust, Armor Burst Killer Blitzer, but the only player on the pitch with Juggernaut. Not that Juggernaut has really done anything at this point. Bit of bouncy. Another bit of bouncy. Stand firm Blitzers doing some serious work this game. And we dodge a skink off the troll. Nope. Strength up skill is very, very, very exposed right now. Flips over the Crocs. That was with a block from the Crocs that resulted in a both down. Block being a great skill. I might not have bothered with that, if I'm honest. It's a bit of a mistake. Really stupid on the troll, because the troll is really, really stupid. So we're going to chuck the thrower up into this very tight area here while smacking a skink. Reroll comes out. Again, we're seeing aggressive rerolls here. But it is a planning on attempt at a skink. So you can kind of see why he did it. And it worked, because Zleox is KO'd. And will be off the field now, leaving just 2 skinks remaining. Again, failure to deal with this Saurus has caused this Black Orc to lag behind the pace because he needs to cover that area, prevent that Saurus from breaking his way in. Fireball comes out. Fireball takes the troll and the thrower down. The wall is loose. But there is still a solid wall of green in front, even if 2 of them are on the deck. Stamfurry Boy does go down this time, which does allow the overspill, as does Sorkin Orca Guard, who goes down also, meaning that the Mighty Blow Saurus can now threaten the ball and make that pick up a bit harder. Blitz on Orchimedes. Orchimedes eats that blitz like it ain't nothing, like it's his breakfast, and stays on his feet, meaning that the pickup now for the skink is going to be much harder. Here it goes. Fails the first dodge and dies. And you hate to see it, unless you don't like lizard men like me, in which case I kind of love to see it. But I'm not biased, so sad day. Sad day. Salarnis, you have my sympathies. Losing a Blodge skink like that is pretty rough stuff. Troll gets back up. Good boy. And we see a cheeky little 1-die hit on Igao number 2 by Niccolò Porcavelli. As well as a blitz in. I would have liked to have seen a blitz in on the skink here, but he's going to blitz Nima the Saurus, forcing the Saurus into a very tight area. Reroll has to come out for the Agi up wrestle Orchimedes lineman, and we're going to bring the player back to cover, which does make this very difficult for the Lizardmen, because there ain't a great deal of places they can go to. They're all kind of locked on. Skull comes out. Seems to be a running theme, but block is a good skill. And the Crocs cooperates by sticking himself on that spicy blitzer. And another skull comes out. Troll donks Kiel-san number 2. Trolloleo Trollolay. Which sounds like some sort of weird Edward Keel song, doesn't it? So the Orcs have a little bit of a chance here to break free. We see a nice troll hit on the Surda number 2. No armour break. But it does give him a nice straight shot at that last skink, which he is all too happy to take. And we see the flip over into the side, and then the obligatory trailing on. And Garçon Quebec is injured. And it is an armour bust, not that it really matters on our own. All that counts is that he is out of there. Now no skinks on the field for the Saurus, which is a bit of a nightmare situation, because how the hell do you recover this ball if you somehow manage to get it free? We see a cheeky little handoff, and then a bit of a run. Now this is interesting. I would like to know whether this was a misclick, because I think it was a misclick. Like, you don't GFI with Black Orcs. You don't GFI with Black Orcs if you don't really need to. You could have just stood there, and he still would have had to have made a dodge without great tackle. As a consequence of that fail, this is a straight shot. So we go push, and then we go both down. Throw has block, so that is last reroll burned, and that last throw of the dice only failed. And just to add insult to injury, quite literally, or injury to insult, I suppose, we have a Saurus injure itself trying to dodge off of a Black Orc after a bonehead fail from Gorgos the Croxidor. Both big guys being quite unreliable this game. The Troll more than the Croxidor, but you know, when the Croxigor is a bigger percentage of the available team on the pitch, then those fails are going to be much more noticeable. So we see a nice big run up here. This is perfect positioning for this. You push him to the sideline. Don't follow up, because if you follow up, that means you've got a 1 die to get off of the sideline. Whereas, like this, he's going to have to dodge through a couple of tackle zones just to get out, and doesn't have that easy way out. Jostling for position, doesn't follow up with any more blocks because he doesn't really need to. Croxigor boneheads again, 2 in a row. Push on the stand firm, that ain't going to do much. And that stand firm has become the bane of their existence, because there's another push on the stand firm. And a both down on the stand firm. So Orcfucius just will not go down. Great tackle. Fires off, but unfortunately it's not enough to get the Saurus clear. There's just too many tackles on to get through. Which means that our friendly neighbourhood thrower can run off into the corner where he's safe, and then we can get a bit of bouncy action going on down here. That's a nice pow just there. Doesn't follow it. Which would suggest that he's not going to go behind the box. I don't think he really needs to. The cross is actually a bit more of a hindrance than a help for the lizard men who does the fighting on. Nothing doing. Let's see what the troll can do. The troll can do quite well, apparently. That would be a stun. Yep, that is indeed a stun on Kiel-san, who is going to be down and out for a turn. And Mutan number 2 is injured. At this point, you've got to start feeling like this is not really going to be the Lizard Men's game. Apo comes out, subs him, so he will be back. You're going to need him for extra time here, because this is overtime rules. Blackwood runs up, and we kind of leapfrog the adjunct lineman past him. Let's see what goes here. We are going for a blitz. We are going to get the blitz hit. He stands firm and he stays alive. There we are. Orcs equalise, and we have extra time at the end. Alright. So, realistically speaking, they have to get, and they do. The skink comes back. Without that skink, they were in dire trouble. So, unfortunately, Slibbly stays out. He has been out since turn 2. Multiple KO rolls have passed him by. Slibbly just deciding that he doesn't want anything to do with this game, no matter how much they paid him for it. And, yeah. Kind of grim, really. We are on turn 16. We'll switch around so we can see what the lizards are going to do. Scoring a 1-turn here is practically impossible because of all this stand firm. All features is leveled as well. So, realistically speaking, you ignore the ball and you just punch and try and remove some of those orcs in the hopes that you get Slibbly back and you have something of a team for the next half. Take them 3 hits and then just hit end turn. And we will see if that will occur. Well, that's one way to take an orc out. Cicerorc suffers an injury, but it's just a stun. It's a good, nice deep kick, not that it matters. And straight away a skull, no rerolls. And Igao, number 2, is dead. Second death, and that Apo, as we know, was used on the Tachosaurus just a couple of turns ago. So Igao is permanently dead. Harsh, very harsh. These skulls have really been unkind to Salarnis. So we're now on dead and injured 5, and Slibbly stays down. In comparison, just the 1 injury, and it's just a badly hurt for the orcs. Alright, so let's see which way the toss goes. The toss goes to the orcs, which probably feels appropriate to both players, to both coaches, given the way that this game has gone so far. Just the 6 lizards, including the 1 strength up skink for the lizard men. Full team plus a bench of 1 goblin for the orcs. This is definitely the orcs' game to lose at this point, I would say. Excuse me while I inhale. So as we can see, the orcs setting up for a pretty hard drive here, going in aggressive, relying on kick-off return to get Playtalk to the, which is a fantastic name, Playtalk to the ball nice and quickly, and just crush their way forward. Kick-off return puts him right under it. And then he gets hit with a rock! And he is injured. Alas, poor Playtalk. He got niggled. Apo comes out. Player joins the substitutes, but he will be taking no further part in the game. Unfortunately, he is... This is a bit weird. It's showing a lineman in the reserves box there. Who is invisible. How strange. Fails the pickup. Turn ordering there. Should have taken some hits before he did anything else. This is actually giving the lizardmen an opening into the game. There's a dog on Semicorca. And we see that brave Tachosaurus come down to menace with spikes of gold and obsidian. There's a dwarf fortress reference because I am just that cool. Stand Firm does its thing. Stand Firm does not do its thing because he wisely opts not to have it do its thing. Pulls the lizardman somewhat out of position. Means that Septosaurus can be fed to other orcs if need be. Orchimedes does his thing this time and actually picks the ball up on a 3. Gets it with a 3. Troll really stupids. It's a noise we've heard many times, as is the bouncy bouncy noise. No bouncy bouncy with the 1 die though. That was straight ball in pow. And that is an injury. Nima Satar is out of there. Agibust sort of shrug that off in a game. Don't make no difference. It's the best possible permanent injury you can get these days. Pretty brutal turn for the Orcs there. Lizards reduced to just 5 players. Is he going to go for it? He is. He's going for the Sacred Skink sack attempt, and he's pulled it off. Orchimedes is going down. Zleox watches the ball fall next to him. Goes for it. Gets tackled. No magnet hands this time, though. A 1 on the catch, which is a theme for the Orcs as well. But unfortunately, Zleox the Skink is now basically wearing a big kick me sign over his face. This is probably going to hurt. Orchimedes picks the ball up, scoots away with it. Bouncy, bouncy. That makes the foul a little less likely to succeed. As it means the other players have found moved into assist. But we are going to bring a Black Orc back to make it noise a little bit. Just power the keel sign number 2 as well. It's no good. Just a fall. Cheeky dodge, make a suicide dive by Zleox a little bit more difficult. Shove the Black Orc around. Why not? Here it comes. Opened up the channel, failed the GFI. Ouch. That's heartbreaking, really. He's doing the desperation moves, and you so want them to see them succeed, but it's just not working. The dice just aren't there. Too many Orcs, too much weight in numbers. Right, so the Orcs are basically going to flood that right-hand side of the pitch with as many bodies as they can. Ooh, and looks like there may be a foul coming on the little Lizzie boy as well. Pretty effective looking side cage there, especially with the pushes going in, keeping the lizards tied to the troll. Here comes the foul. The sign's still there. It wasn't dislodged last time. No dinero though, another 4. And the troll gets the hit. And runs round to provide an assist to the Lord. He promptly just gets a push. Hey, push is better than a kick in the face. Corsical gets up. Here he comes! Here he comes! Oh, he's made it through again. And he's just got a push on the red dice. It's a valiant effort. Just style it and step off, not really. Failed Saurus dodge, and that's the turn done with. Break tackle, natural 1 there. Break tackle does nothing. The break tackle, it does nothing. So we're going to see the Orcs cut off the pitch, cut off the ball from those 3 big lizards in the middle. They are still going to have to deal with the skink though, because the longer the skink is alive, the more chance there is that he somehow manages to nick the ball. And if he can do that on the last turn, then that's GG's. But no, alas, there is one last opportunity for that skink to get Troll Really Stupids, which does provide a hint of hope, perhaps. A hint of hope that something in confidence. But it's going to be a horrendous set of dice to get this one like that. Runs the Tacklesaurus round. Brings up the Break Tacklesaurus and pops him down here. First thing you have to... Oh, Skull comes out. Oh, and that's it. That's GG's. That is GG's. The one die popped out the skull for the nth time tonight. And that makes this an easy run out for the Docmarc. And a bloody victory for the ignorant fairies. They exacted a pound of lizard flesh and then some. Very well played by both coaches. Towards the end of that second half, Salarnis was basically just trying to manage his injuries and so on and so forth, while going for it as much as possible. Sometimes the dice just do that to you. I mean, here we go. We got 2 deaths and 6. We got 6 armor breaks caused by the Scales of Beauty, and 20 armor breaks caused by the Ignorant Fairies. This is one of the more bizarre stats you will see. 52 blocks succeeded for Scales of Beauty. It inflicted 1 KO and 1 injury. Lack of Mighty Blow being telling there, really. 51 blocks succeeded for the Ignorant Fairies. That's 1 less than Scales of Beauty. They inflicted 5 KOs, 5 injuries, and a kill. The second kill isn't counted in here because that second kill came from Scales of Beauty failing a dodge with the skink. So 2 deaths sustained, 7 casualties sustained, 5 KOs sustained. Just weight of numbers here. Weight of numbers. 1 KO sustained and 2 casualties sustained, which is nothing really. Nothing. You can just see the disparity here in the SPP as well. So 21 for the Ignorant Fairies and 10 for Scales of Beauty. Of course, half of that coming from the MVP. Just a smorgasbord of SPP. Smorgasbord of SPP. In terms of dice rolls, when you look at the dice, Scales of Beauty actually had slightly better than average dice on the D6s, but it would appear that it really wasn't where it counted. In terms of block dice, significantly worse than average. You're looking at 5 less stumbles and 5 less pows than you got skulls and both downs. And you wouldn't think those both downs would matter as much because there's so much block, but if you're just pounding away at stuff that also has block, then you're not doing any damage. The Ignorant Fairies got much better. 6 more powers than skulls, and then near enough parity in terms of both downs and stumbles, and they had barely any players that didn't have either block or wrestle. Lots of pushes, of course, as you would expect. So yeah, there was some rough dice in there. Boneheads 10 for 3. Really Stupid's 11 for 5, which is worse than average. GFI's 75% success rate isn't great, but it's orcs. You don't GFI with them, because if you do, they fall over. Pickups, 6 failures and 4 successes, and catches 3 failures and 1 success, which is yeah, it tells you what happened there really. In terms of the actual casualty rolls, they weren't very good. And of course, we did have the Fairies with the Wake Up After KO, failing 5 of them, and all of them were for Slibbly. Slibbly, the star player who nobody wants anymore. I will be very surprised if Slibbly appears alongside the Scales of Beauty anytime in the immediate future. Spinoza the Goblin, who literally ran forward a few steps, gets the MVP for the Ignorant Fairies, and Mutan number 2 gets the MVP for the Scales of Beauty. But yeah, that was a rough game. Commiserations to Salarnis, and congratulations to Docmarc, who advances through to the next round. So I'd just like to end here by thanking Aldar for joining me for the first half, and you will have listened to my hideous attempt at making that have some semblance of sense to it, because of the fact that the video was horribly corrupted by my Twitch streaming service thing program. It's late. I've done this 3 times. My brain is ceasing to function. So, thank you for watching. I have fixed everything now, so I will be casting a game tomorrow, and I will also be casting one of my own games beforehand, so I will have a test run and be able to fix anything that needs fixing for the actual playoff game tomorrow night. Outside of that, I thank you very much. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just going to there. So I will catch you all tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful whatever is left of your evening, and I will see you then. Thank you very much to Lascaris and Co, who did come in with numbers to catch the end of this game while it was streaming. Could not see anything and all promptly departed. So yeah, much appreciated. Have a wonderful one. Good night.